7 Signs you're becoming more self-aware. Have you ever wondered what sets people apart who seem to navigate life with clarity and confidence? The answer often lies in self-awareness, the ability to understand yourself deeply, from your emotions to your habits, and use that insight to grow. Becoming more self-aware is like holding a mirror to your inner world, revealing truths that empower you to live intentionally. In a fast-paced world, this skill is your anchor, helping you make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and pursue your goals with purpose. In this article, we're exploring 7 clear signs that show you're becoming more self-aware. Backed by psychological research and real-life patterns, these signs will help you recognize your progress and offer practical ways to deepen your self-understanding. Stay with us, because you might be closer to mastering this transformative skill than you realize. Let's dive in. Sign 1. You recognize your emotional triggers. The first sign you're becoming more self-aware is recognizing what sets off your emotions. A 2018 study in emotion found that people who identify their emotional triggers, specific situations or interactions that spark strong feelings, are better at regulating their responses and maintaining emotional balance. Knowing your triggers is like having a map of your emotional landscape. Consider 2 co-workers, Olivia and Ben, navigating a tense team meeting. Olivia notices her frustration rising when a colleague interrupts her. She's aware this stems from feeling undervalued, so she takes a deep breath and addresses it calmly later. Ben, however, gets irritated by the same interruption but doesn't understand why. He snaps, escalating the tension. Olivia's awareness of her trigger helped her stay composed, while Ben's lack of insight led to conflict. If you're starting to notice what sparks your emotions, maybe a critical comment makes you defensive, or a tight deadline causes anxiety, you're showing this sign. To strengthen it, keep an emotion journal. After a strong feeling, jot down what happened, how you felt, and what might have triggered it. Over time, patterns emerge, giving you control over your reactions. Ask yourself, are you spotting the moments that stir your emotions? That's a powerful step towards self-awareness. Sign 2. You understand your strengths and weaknesses. The second sign of growing self-awareness is understanding your strengths and weaknesses. Research from Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, 2019, shows that people who accurately assess their abilities are more effective in personal and professional settings because they play to their strengths and address their gaps. Self-awareness isn't about being perfect, it's about knowing where you shine and where you need work. Imagine 2 entrepreneurs, Sophia and Liam, pitching to investors. Sophia knows she's great at storytelling but struggles with financial details, so she prepares thoroughly and brings a partner to handle numbers. Her pitch is a success. Liam, however, overestimates his financial acumen and downplays his weak presentation skills. His pitch falls flat. Sophia's clear-eyed view of her abilities gave her an edge, while Liam's blind spots held him back. If you're recognizing what you're good at and where you fall short, maybe you excel at creative tasks but procrastinate on admin work, you're showing this sign. To build it, try a SWOT analysis. List your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Be honest, and ask a trusted friend for input to catch blind spots. This clarity helps you leverage your strengths and improve your weaknesses. Are you getting better at knowing what you bring to the table? That's a hallmark of self-awareness. If this resonates, comment number 2 below to let me know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more insights. Let's move on. Sign 3. You notice patterns in your behavior. The third sign you're becoming more self-aware is noticing patterns in your behavior. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that individuals who identify recurring habits, both positive and negative, are better at making intentional changes to improve their lives. Spotting these patterns is like decoding the habits that shape your days. Picture 2 friends, Ava and Noah, trying to improve their work-life balance. Ava realizes she often says yes to extra tasks, leaving her overwhelmed. She tracks this habit and starts setting boundaries, freeing up time for herself. Noah, however, keeps overcommitting without noticing the pattern. He's constantly stressed but doesn't connect it to his behavior. Ava's awareness of her pattern led to change, while Noah's lack of insight kept him stuck. If you're spotting tendencies in how you act, maybe you avoid conflict or procrastinate under stress, you're showing this sign. To deepen it, track your habits for a week. Note what you do, when, and why. Look for repeats, like always checking your phone when bored or snapping when tired. This reveals areas to tweak. Reflect. Are you seeing the threads that run through your actions? That's a clear marker of growing self-awareness. Sign 4. You seek feedback to improve. The fourth sign of self-awareness is actively seeking feedback to grow. Research from Harvard Business Review, 2021, shows that people who solicit constructive feedback are more adaptable and effective because they use others' perspectives to refine their self-view. Seeking feedback isn't about validation, it's about uncovering blind spots to become better. Consider two managers, Ethan and Mia, leading new teams. Ethan regularly asks his team for feedback on his leadership style, using their input to communicate more clearly. His team thrives. Mia, however, avoids feedback, assuming she's doing fine. Her team struggles with her unclear directions, but she doesn't realize why. Ethan's openness to feedback strengthened his leadership, while Mia's avoidance limited her growth. If you're asking for input, maybe you've sought advice on a project or asked a friend how you come across, you're showing this sign. To nurture it, make feedback a habit. After a task, ask one specific question, like, "What's one thing I could do better?" Start with trusted people to build confidence. Seeking feedback shows you're committed to growth. Are you open to others' insights about you? That's a big step towards self-awareness. Sign 5. You pause before reacting impulsively. The fifth sign you're becoming more self-aware is pausing before reacting impulsively. A 2017 study in personality and individual differences found that people who practice self-regulation, pausing to think before acting, have better emotional control and decision-making skills. This pause is the space where self-awareness thrives. Imagine two parents, Chloe and Ryan, dealing with a child's tantrum. Chloe feels frustrated but takes a deep breath, assesses her emotions, and responds calmly, diffusing the situation. Ryan, however, reacts instantly, raising his voice, which escalates the conflict. Chloe's pause allowed her to choose her response, while Ryan's impulsivity fueled tension. If you're catching yourself before snapping or rushing to act, maybe you've hesitated before sending an angry email or taken a moment to cool off during an argument, you're showing this sign. To strengthen it, try the stop technique. Stop, take a breath, observe your feelings, and proceed thoughtfully. Practice in low-stakes moments, like waiting a beat before replying in a chat. If this hits home, comment number 5 below to let me know you're following along. And if you're not subscribed, hit that bell for more tips. Are you creating space before reacting? That's a powerful sign of self-awareness. Sign 6. You align your actions with your goals. The sixth sign of growing self-awareness is aligning your actions with your goals. Research from Journal of Applied Psychology, 2020, shows that people who regularly check if their behaviors match their long-term objectives are more successful in achieving them. Self-awareness bridges the gap between what you want and what you do. Take two students, Lily and James, aiming to graduate with honors. Lily reflects on her study habits, realizing she spends too much time on social media. She cuts back and schedules focused study sessions, boosting her grades. James, however, studies inconsistently, distracted by his phone, without connecting this to his slipping performance. Lily's alignment of actions with goals drove her success, while James's disconnect held him back. If you're noticing whether your daily choices support your aspirations, maybe you've skipped a night out to work on a side hustle or prioritized exercise for your health, you're showing this sign. To build it, do a weekly alignment check. List your top 3 goals and one action you took toward each. Adjust where needed. Are your actions moving you toward your dreams? That's a clear indicator of self-awareness. Sign 7. You accept your imperfections. The final sign you're becoming more self-aware is accepting your imperfections. A 2022 study in Self and Identity found that self-acceptance, embracing your flaws without harsh self-judgment, correlates with higher emotional resilience and life satisfaction. Self-awareness doesn't mean fixating on your faults. It means seeing them clearly and still valuing yourself. Picture two artists, Grace and Owen, showcasing their work. Grace knows her technique isn't perfect but shares her art proudly, focusing on her growth. Critics praise her authenticity. Owen, however, obsesses over minor flaws, hesitating to share his work. His fear of imperfection stalls his career. Grace's acceptance of her limits freed her to shine, while Owen's self-criticism held him back. If you're starting to embrace your quirks, maybe you're okay with not being the best public speaker or laugh off a small mistake, you're showing this sign. To deepen it, practice self-compassion. When you mess up, speak to yourself as you would a friend, like, "It's okay, you're learning." This builds confidence to grow without shame. Are you making peace with your imperfections? That's the heart of self-awareness. Final thoughts. Reflect on these 7 signs. Are you recognizing your triggers, understanding your strengths, noticing behavior patterns, seeking feedback, pausing before reacting, aligning actions with goals, and accepting your imperfections? If you see these in yourself, you're cultivating self-awareness, a skill that transforms how you live, work, and connect. The best part: you can deepen these traits with practice. Start small, journal your emotions, ask for feedback, or check if your actions match your goals. Self-awareness isn't about perfection, it's about progress, honesty, and growth. Don't wait for a big moment to start. Take one step today. Your clearer, more confident self is already emerging.